Hello, everybody. Welcome to NXT. We're here for Gold Rush. So, are you guys ready for week one? As we are here in Madison Square Garden, the theater at Madison Square Garden, which I guess is like the basement or something like that. And I'm expecting a hot crowd jumping off from last night, Monday Night Raw, the last John Cena Raw, Madison Square Garden. We're still here in New York. Vic Joseph and Booker T on the call. So we got at least 4 matches tonight, 4 title matches for sure. We'll see if they add on extra things. Also curious if next week, if we'll get Obafemi and Ricky Saints, because we saw the return of the ruler at the end of the show last week. So Blake Monroe and Sol Ruca in the house. Blake Monroe defending the North American title against Sol Ruca, who's got Zarya with her. Will Sol's knee hold up? We'll see what happens. And here's Fatal Influence one last time for Jayne, according to Tatum Paxley. Can she win back the title she lost? We'll have to see what happens. And there's Tatum. New York City here for Tatum Paxley. Good to see you guys as always as we're getting the show started. Tyrell Breed, good to see you, friend. What is my favorite part of all Assassin's Creed games? / if Jayne wins back the title, we riot. Yeah, I don't think it's time to end Tatum's reign just yet. We're getting a nice little video package of champions at Madison Square Garden, though, which is pretty cool. Now we're showing our current champions between Evolve, NXT, TNA, and AAA. My favorite part of all the Assassin's Creed, I'll say this, I think my favorite Assassin's Creed game is probably, I'm going back to Assassin's Creed 2, the first Ezio game. Although that was the one where you could play as both Ezio and Altair. I think it was called Revelation, maybe. I enjoyed that one as well. My favorite part, if you want to say that, I think it was in the very first game, just getting to scale the buildings in Jerusalem and Acre and Damascus, I think was the third city in those times. Just that first impact of the game was a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed those. I actually have quite a backlog of Assassin's Creed games that I have playable because of my PlayStation Plus account, but I have not started one yet. I wanted to jump into, because I actually stopped playing after Revelation, so I still have to play like 3 and 4 at Black Flag and all those other ones. So, but yeah, those are great games, though. I love the template style of those games. Happy birthday, Mickey and Minnie Mouse, huh, Zach? All right, thanks for that. Dro, good to see you as always. Dro, I will always root against Jake Paul. Do not care for Jake Paul. Hey, Sophie. I enjoyed Raw last night. I thought it was a pretty good show for the most part. Good send-off for Cena. Very star-studded. Good to see Dolph Ziggler back for a night, if anything, and him getting some love from Madison Square Garden. Great match with Maxine and Becky Lynch. Really enjoyed that. And, of course, Gunther and Javon burned the house down, as I knew they would. Gunther's old music, loving that. Absolutely stoked for that. And, of course, the Tribal Chief returns for War Games. I wasn't super stoked about Roman coming back. I mean, listen, I'm not going to be a hater. Obviously, Roman is one of the most over acts they have in the company, so whenever they can bring him back for a big match, they'll do it. It'll do numbers. People will love it. I just really, once it became clear that Brock was going to be on Team Vision, I was really hoping they'd find a way to bring Cena into War Games, just for Cena to get his revenge. Because Cena is going to retire being at a deficit to Brock Lesnar. And I don't particularly like that. I think he could at least pull even with him. But you know what? That's not going to be how it is. So is what it is. But nevertheless, no, not everybody left in the Cena tournament. Okay, so we're getting the mixed tag the mixed tag title match. Starting the show tonight, here comes Joe Hendry and Thea Hale, and they are entering together, both doing the Joe Hendry entrance. Their energies are interesting together because Joe's pretty chill, takes it all in, and Thea's a little bulldog running around, It's interesting. So anyway, yeah, Joe Hendry and Thea Hale taking on Chelsea Green and All Ego Ethan Page. That is opening our show tonight. Let me know what you think in the comments, by the way. Who do you got for this opening match? You think Chelsea and Ethan will retain, or will we end up with new mixed tag champions? I think Ethan and Chelsea will probably still retain. Hey, George. Good to see you. Yeah, I think Tatum will retain. I mean, they love her, and she just got the belt, man. Like, I don't see them taking it off her this fast. Yeah, Dolph's Pop was great. George, super excited for Maxine. I thought that story they told with her and Becky over the course of those 3 matches was great. Becky Lynch is up. Pledge allegiance, everybody, to Chelsea Green. Becky Lynch is going to go down as one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. She clearly understands what it means to be a veteran performer. Like, she built up prestige to the Intercontinental title, and I think we all thought AJ Lee might take it from her. But instead, they pivot and they do this like 3-4 week story with Maxine. It was really good, and Maxine has improved so much. And I don't care if Maxine holds the belt for a month or what, but what they did with that one story was great. And kudos to Becky Lynch for just the way she played her role in that feud was excellent. And Maxine is getting better and better in the ring. So you love to see it. You love to see it. Mod Father, good to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for being in the chat with us. We're all blessed, man, because we're all here together, and we're watching NXT Gold Rush. So we are collecting. No, George, I don't think Jacy's going to win. Let's see. When Nikki Bella jumped to the microphone. Promos were not the best last night, for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Right, exactly. I know Roman's going to have to address his Christmas comment to the Usos for sure. So I do think that Cena being in War Games is a risk, but you can plan around that because he was in Elimination Chamber too, remember? And what happened? He was the last guy coming out, and he wrapped up the match. So I think you just make Cena the last guy to come into War Games. And, you could have everybody just waylay on Brock. And that's what it would take. And have Cena get him. That's just how I would do it. But they ain't doing what I want to do because I don't work for them. That's not my company. J.R. Dugan, good to see you, friend. Thank you for being here. Dueling chants for Thea and Chelsea. The big dog, in the building. Always here to acknowledge you, Mod Father. Thanks for being here. Hope we get some questions of the week in our commercial breaks tonight, friend. Because we're ready to chat. We are ready to chat. All right. So, all right, Joe Hendry. And all right, so this is not intergender. It's mixed tag. So men fight the men, women fight the women. Ethan and Joe now in the ring. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ethan Page wrestle somebody at Cena's last Saturday night's main event. If I were picking talent from NXT to show up and wrestle on Cena's last Saturday night's main event, I would pick Ethan Page, Javon Evans. There's any number of women you could pick. If Sol Ruca really is, probably Blake Monroe. I think Blake Monroe, superstar wise, is maybe the most ready for the big bright lights of Saturday night's main event. George. Oh yeah, Izzy. There's likely going to be a falling out at some point. I just wonder how quickly that'll happen. I just and we know it's coming, but I think here's what would be interesting, George, is that in a few weeks. Hello, sorry, we have a kitten here deciding to crave attention. Nevertheless, oh Justin, hey man, good to see you. What if Izzy Dame won the Iron Survivor match and then became the number one contender to Tatum? I wonder, would they give Izzy? Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, Thea Hale said, "Screw the rules. I'm putting a Kimura on Ethan Page." Okay, this cat is getting familiar. Hello. I know. This is actually our neighbor's cat. He just comes inside, sneaks in our house sometimes, and is very friendly with me. But anyway, so hi. Yeah, so day's going okay though. Here we are. Okay. Hendry and Hale on top right now. Alba Fire, by the way, ringside. And the crowd's hot, chanting we believe, large we believe chants. So we'll see what comes of this. But yeah, we got to start thinking about the Iron Survivor after we get through Gold Rush, right? Because there's going to be NXT Deadline at the beginning of December, which is just a few weeks away, and we should be having a men and a women's Iron Survivor match, which might be one of the best NXT like original branded matches they put on. It's kind of like the championship scramble with a penalty box. There was a TNA match that used to do a penalty box. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. Okay. Our mod father has got a question. We're going to throw it up on the screen here, and I'm going to try to be gentle with this animal here. Would you rather be a two-time Royal Rumble winner or main event every WrestleMania with only one title reign? It's actually that's a good question. Two-time Royal Rumble. I'm assuming if I'm a two-time Royal Rumble winner, then I'm not main eventing any WrestleManias and maybe not getting any title reigns. I would not want to be a Royal Rumble winner who never wins at Mania. So I'm going to say Mania. I'm going to say Mania with the one title reign. Because here's a question. Is that one title reign at the beginning and I can have every Mania main event after it? It would kill the ratings if I was the champion, for sure. But nevertheless, I'll pick the Mania path there, Mod Father. Thank you for asking. Curious what everybody else thinks. Let's see. Play as Connor. Let's do it later. George Washington. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's right. Tyrell. Assassin's Creed 3 is the American Revolution game, right? Yeah. So, but yeah. Dr. Wagner. I'm curious if Dr. Wagner will be here. Chris Wrestling Views. Good to see you, man. Mercedes is still collecting belts. You know what? Today, their opinion. I haven't heard back. About it. I think it would be quite the conversation starter online if Mercedes won 17 titles, if she wins 17 different belts, because then she can say she's a 17-time champion as well. And and that would be very petty towards Mr. Cena. I'd be curious how the internet would respond to something like that. That's actually I get that, Modfather. Yeah, not too many people have the title of two-time Royal Rumble winner. You got Hogan, Austin, Cena only ever won once. Cody has won twice. I think Charlotte Flair has won twice. I actually can't remember. Every horsewoman has won the Royal Rumble though. Brock has won twice. Yeah. Cena won in 2012. And oh yeah, he has won twice. He won in 2012 and in 2008. And yes, Batista won twice. 2005, 2014. Randy won twice. Randy really ran the table for his first Royal Rumble win when he had Legacy with him. Yeah. So yeah, Hogan and Austin, though, the only three-time Royal Rumble winners. I'm curious if Cody will match that because he's already got two back so fast. Roman won 2015, but I don't think Roman's won again since then. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Because Roman's first one was 2015, then 2016 was Triple H, 2017 Edge, 2010, and 2021. Joe Hendry's got Ethan Page up. And a fall away slam Scott Hall would be proud of. And a kip up. We're going to turn around and look at the camera. HBK back-to-back years in 95 and 96. Oh, Chelsea goes over the top. So we've had quite a few two-time Rumble winners. We have not had that many three. Undertaker won in 2007. But coffin drop from Thea takes down Ethan Page and Alba Fire. Okay, Dro. You call in your shot. Joshua wins by KO in fifth round for a TKO. Okay. Now it's down to Chelsea and Thea. And Thea's in control right now. Going for a T-bone suplex or exploder. Sorry, not a T-bone. I'm not sure her arms are long enough to T-bone Chelsea. Only two. Did you guys see the music video Joe Hendry did to American Pie saying Chelsea got creamed? It was terrible. Whoa, big super kick and a two words for you to Ethan Page. Oh, but she was distracted. Looks like we're getting an unprettier, but no. And Thea reverses into a Kimura. Yeah, Triple H also a two-time winner. Chelsea's looking for the rope. Can Ethan Page save his partner? She's down on the ground and she cinched it in. Oh, Hendry going for the choke slam, but gets pushed right into the ladies. Breaks it up. And now Chelsea got the unprettier. That ought to do it. Team Canada retains. Energetic opening contest. And still the mixed tag champions. Chelsea selling that arm. All ego Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, who's actually selling her fashionista little hat that's with her gear on WWE Shop now. So good for Chelsea getting some more merch. I thought that was a pretty. This is going to sound weird. I think that was a good Raw or SmackDown match. For something that's getting a lot of press, like NXT Gold Rush, felt like it was going to be a little bit more. But you know what? I didn't mind. We got another Would You Rather from our mod father as we're going into our next segment. Would you rather be a ref, but you have to take a bump every PLE, or would you rather be one of those jack security guards that gets taken out every brawl? You know what? I kind of would like to be a security guard. Oh, we've got Lola Vice and Jordan Grace backstage. Man, I'd have to be a security guard because I would start taking tabs on how many finishers I've taken. Because then if you're a ref, you still have to still be a ref. Oh, here's Kalani. My father, my father says, everybody shh, Jordan Grace. All right, well, Kalani telling off Lola and Jordan. Uh, Kalani will be defending the Knockouts Championship next week on part 2 of Gold Rush. I don't think Jordan takes the title. I think Kalani still holds on to it for a little bit longer. I got to tell you, man, I know how to pick them. We're in November right now, and at the beginning of the year, I predicted Jordan Grace would become a champion, and I thought that was my most slam dunk prediction. Out of I made 5 predictions for 2025, and I'm 0 for 5. She is my last hope. I predicted Cena would lose. He technically did lose a title match because he lost the title back to Cody. But I said he would get a title match and he'd lose it. That's not true. He won. He won 17. I said that Demolition would get into the Hall of Fame, which they didn't. The Natural Disasters did instead. I said Jordan Grace would win gold, which she still has a month left to do, but she hasn't yet. And watch her win the Iron Survivor match, and then she ends the year as #1 contender, and it's almost even, almost. And then I said Mello would win Money in the Bank, which we got Seth Rollins instead, which was a great angle, but not something I don't think any of us predicted. And then I also said that Bobby Lashley would be AEW champion, and I was really overestimating the competency of AEW booking there because we've still got Hangman Adam Page as champion there, and I don't think he's going to relinquish that anytime soon. He's currently feuding, I think, with Samoa Joe. So, and of course, Bobby still in the tag division with Shelton Benjamin, which I think is crazy. But again, what do I know? I'm not Tony Khan. It is pretty crazy that Maxine and Cena are both IC champions at the same time, for sure. But you know what? It's also a good thing to see for Maxine that an actual mid-carder is holding the mid-card title. I mean, that's kind of what those belts are for. And as I keep getting whipped with this tail. So yeah, WWE is an interesting place right now. We're only a couple weeks away from Survivor Series. I'm a little. I know I already said at the top of the show that I would have hoped Cena would have made it into War Games, but and I'm happy that he's getting a little bit of a feud with Dom. I'm happy for Dom in that because Dom was on First Take this morning on SportsCenter, the LA SportsCenter on ESPN. So he's making the press rounds and stuff. So good for Dom. And in doing so, he's getting a lot of exposure, a lot of oh my gosh, sorry, y'all. Mainstream media exposure. I'm about to put you down on the floor, not put you down. Sorry. And so anyway, yeah, I think that, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about the feud with Dom, as a feud, Cena and him. I'm glad that he got the Grand Slam title, right? So I'm glad that he got that distinction before he retired, but I didn't need multiple matches with Cena and Dom. But it's okay. We'll see what happens. I wonder if he just drops the title back to him at Survivor Series. Or I'm not sure where it'll go. A few questions here. Yeah, so Dro, I think it goes the distance, and I think Jake Paul loses by decision because I think his fights are fixed, and if he's going to lose, I think it's going to try to make him look as good as possible. I did see the video footage, Justin, of NXT attacking TNA. It's nice to see Brooks Jensen again. I mean, that guy I think deserves more airtime for sure. But yeah, him, Lexus King, and some of the others. Charlie Dempsey jumping in. I was very surprised that they took the belt off Santana. Like he won the title. They went like on hiatus for a few weeks, and like their first live taping back, he lost the title. Like I don't know what's up with that choice. I mean, I don't mind Kazarian being a TNA champion. He's a TNA lifer, but like I just don't quite get. I don't like quick hot shot title changes like that, especially when they really built up Santana to be the guy, right? Because he's the one who took the belt from Trick. Cena talking about being a polarizing figure. I'm not unhappy with the Cena tournament. I think it is what it is. It's nice to have had people from his past in it. Seeing Ziggler and Ryder come back for those cameos were great. And at this point, I feel like Gunther's going to be the one to win the tournament. Now that I'm seeing the cards play out, it would be wild if it was Bronson Reed. I'll say that it would be wild if it was Bronson Reed. But I think with Bronson Reed taking on Mello before War Games, there might be a whole lot of interference in that match, and Mello could take that match. Because seeing Mello and Gunther in the semifinals would be a lot of fun. All right, here's Tatum. I wonder if they will announce or if they'll wait until later in the month to announce who's going to be performing at Saturday night's main event. Oh, here's Ava Nell. Maybe she's going to tell us. She's got her announcement posture.
When did that first thing you did
No, I wasn't surprised, Sophie. Once we saw Obafemi at the end of last week's show, I'm not surprised that he didn't get called up for the tournament. Iron Survivors announcement. Rockhead. Stop it, my father. Or do you think differently? Oh. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Snap. Okay. So Cena is going to pick the Iron Survivor competitors. That's actually pretty cool. I love that. Okay. I like that. I like Cena coming in to put over the new talent. And honestly, I feel like maybe Cena has wanted to be involved, not necessarily with NXT, but with younger talent in general in his time back. And I don't know. I'm planning on doing a video that it could very well, George, it could just be a pre-recorded statement. I don't think he'll be live because this is a 2-week show and they're not going to be in New York twice. Actually, I think they might be taping the second half of the show tonight. TNA could attack Justin, but I wonder, do you think they'll instead attack Kalani in her match? Well, I don't know if I would call this a Cena appearance. I think it's pre-recorded. I bet he did it last night while he was at Raw. Here's Tavion Heights. Yeah, Shamanica, exactly. a package promo. I don't think because next week he's going to do it, and next week is probably already going to be a taped show because I think they're doing all of Gold Rush tonight, but we're only seeing it part one broadcast. Hmm. Actually, Justin, you're probably right. If we do Ricky and Oba next week, TNA will probably um, do that. I think you may be right. I wonder if the main event will be Tatum and Jacy. Oh man, Tavion just got clocked by Josh Briggs. I know Briggs is going to be in that Iron Survivor match for sure. Okay, they're fighting their way out. Oh, there's the merch table. Goodness. All right, here's Soul putting that knee brace on. Zarya looking like a disapproving mother on Soul. But here comes the North American Women's Champion, Blake Monroe. So it's time for the match. Who you got, Blake Monroe or Sol Ruca? I got Blake Monroe. I think she's still going to be champion here. Well, Sophie, Triple H was in charge of NXT when they implemented War Games. And I don't know if it came up with him, but I think once they started doing War Games, Triple H was already up on the main roster. So I don't know if they'll do. I don't know if they'll do the Iron Survivor or not. George asks, "What if Blake drops the title back to Sol Ruca and Zarya wins the Speed Championship?" That would be pretty wild, George, because I feel like this whole story is tempting us into thinking that they're going to break up, or that Zarya is going to turn heel. I don't think we see a heel turn from Sol Ruca, though. I don't think Sol is the type to turn heel. I think Zarya, if anyone is going to be Zarya. She's going to be fed up with her. Now, I'm going to say this. If somehow Blake Monroe drops this title tonight, I will write it in ink, even before it's announced that Blake Monroe will be the Iron Survivor winner. Because the only reason I can imagine of taking the title she just got off of her is shooting her up the card to be the next women's champion. And she could take the belt off Tatum Paxley. But I don't see her doing that while she's still North American champion. That's just my own thought here. Sophie mentioning the news that hit over the weekend, I think. SmackDown's going to go back to 3 hours in January. So listen, there's two ways to think about this. And I encourage all of you to pick your preference and just stay in your lane. Okay. If you like SmackDown being 3 hours, the pros are this. Almost everybody on the roster gets TV time. Matches usually get more time to breathe. And the cons are it's 3 hours long, which is a lot of time on a Friday night. If you like it being 2 hours, some of your favorites eventually are going to get left off the show. Some people are going to get buried, which is not true. They're not getting buried. They're just not getting used. However, it's a tight 2 hours, and it's more streamlined, and it's more concise, more concentrated. So there are things to complain about, no matter whether it's a 2 hour or a 3 hour show. There's good things to find in it too, if it's a 2 hour or 3 hour show. So I'm going to try to focus on the fact that we're probably going to be seeing more from the roster. And one thing is that if they're SmackDown talent, I could see them making room for call. And this is another good reason for it not to be 2 hours too, is that anybody from NXT who gets called to SmackDown, you probably don't have to make any releases of SmackDown talent, or at least not immediately, because you would have to cut SmackDown talent to make room for NXT people on a 2 hour show. I mean, there's just not enough room for everybody on a 2 hour show. So take what you want out of that, but try to find the joy in the decision, and don't let yourself get sucked into complaining about it, because those are just complaining about wrestling programming decisions is for engagement farmers. Modfathers, you're going to your first indie show in Austin. You're able to watch Zilla wrestle. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, man. Listen, man, indie wrestling is a great thing. It's affordable. Sometimes you can see, the stars of tomorrow. Indie wrestling, much like house shows back in the day too, can sometimes be kind of relaxed and entertaining in a way that TV isn't. So yeah, those are all good things. I don't think indie wrestling is a bad thing at all. I think it just has its place. Like WWE has its place, AEW has its place, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. War Games is going to be wild. Let's see. Catching up. Lash Legend, man, they've been doing her right since she's come up. So, yeah, Justin, you're right. People coming back from injury. Jacob Fatu has not been on TV for a few weeks, and he'll be coming in as well. So, you're absolutely right about that. All right, we are back. Soul Ruca should be on the way. Who we got here? Jesse Love, NASCAR driver. George, I was pretty quick to think that all of Fatal Influence would get called up until they cut Jasmine Nix and added Lainey Reed, because I don't think Lainey Reed's ready to come up. I wonder if Jacy Jayne will get called up, though, but they got to have something for her. It'd be interesting if Jacy Jayne, Chelsea Green is still saying they're going to have a new Slagent, a new Secret Service member. Jacy, listen, I know some of y'all think it's a demotion, but I think Jacy wouldn't be a bad Secret Service member as a start on SmackDown, because her and Alba Fire as a tag team, because Jacy's a hard hitter too. You could move the Secret Service from being a comedy act to actually being a pretty nasty tag team. Yeah, or she could do double booking. You're right, Sophie. I think Jacy could do that too, and just see where she gets over the most. Because Jacy's getting to the point where she's kind of done everything. Like she did the tag team thing with Fatal Attraction, Toxic Attraction. She's been the champion for a while. She was TNA champion. Like, she really has achieved all she really needs to achieve. I mean, I guess she could go to the North American title, but she doesn't need to. Jacy's at the point now where either she can swim at the main roster level or she can't. They're singing the Blake Monroe chant. Ooh, or Jacy Jayne with Julia and Kiana James. I haven't thought about that, Justin. That would be a pretty nasty combination, honestly. You give just a slight tweak to Jacy's character, and have her more in line. Let Kiana James be like an 80s heel stable manager like a Bobby Heenan or a Slick or a Jimmy Hart. And she can still wrestle though, and she can still take bumps too. But have her keep signing talent, I wouldn't mind that at all. I wouldn't mind Jacy and Julia together. That wouldn't be too bad. Oh, Zarya is ringside, George. She just hasn't done anything. I think Soul's leg is absolutely going to give out on her in this match. Modfather, that is the $1 million question, my friend. When Oba comes up on the main roster, who does he feud with first? If he debuts against somebody, I think it depends if it's Raw or SmackDown, right? I think he just obliterates whoever it is. Like, you could do the Nakamura route and have him show up and just destroy Miz one night. And that's not a feud. That's just a debut, right? Or you could bring him to Raw and have him start off with a heavy hitter, but an old guy like Sheamus, and put him over strong. Have him up against Sheamus or have him against Rusev. If he was on Raw, I think either of those would be pretty cool. But yeah. I don't know. Modfather, who would you put him against? All right, Blake's in control here. She's working that knee, of course, but Soul Ruca continuing to fight it off. Oh, Soul Ruca eats the second turnbuckle, tripping down after a missed charge. Oh, it is an old school move, but Blake Monroe she's whipping that injured leg around the ring post. And that move has been around for 40, 50 years almost, and it's just brutal. Blake was threatening to crotch Soul Ruca on the ring post, but gets kicked off. Justin, that's actually not bad. Solo Sikoa wouldn't be bad, although he'd have to take on the whole MFTs. But I think one-on-one, him and Solo would be good. Randy, that might be there. Or Damian Priest. Yeah, Damian Priest is not bad either. I forgot about Damian. All those could be viable contenders. I guess it just depends on how you want to debut him. Do you want him to show up and, kind of Goldberg everybody? And I mean that in a positive way. Like he just squashes somebody clean? Or do you think, you're going to put him in there to prove how strong he is against someone who is strong? All right, chasing around the ring. Chris, you believe the turn's going to happen here? You might be onto something, man. It is a real possibility. How will the match end? That's a good question. I mean, I think Soul's knee is going to come into play for sure. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so they're just so the match is still ongoing. Again, I'm on the VPN here, but Zarya could factor in. She is, for those of you who pay attention to this sort of thing and you're not watching, Zarya is wearing all black tonight, and Soul is not. Not murder, just destroy. All right, I got you, Modfather. Yeah, just destroy. Yeah, just destroy is a good Rusev or Sheamus. Yeah, any of those things. It could be post match, Chris. You're right. It absolutely could be a post match development, because I could see it for those of you who are super old school. I don't think you can see. Let me turn up just a little bit. Nope. Oh yeah, right over here behind my gear, you can see this poster, this little plate poster on the wall, the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. And in 1994, the trunk was raw, and my rear view mirror was I'm just kidding. Sorry, Jay-Z lyrics. But in 94, Owen Hart turned on Brett at the Royal Rumble. where he had an injured leg and lost a match. And after the match, Owen went to help him and just kicked him right in his bad leg and knocked him down. It would be a nice homage to that if Zarya did turn after the match like that. Yeah, Zarya is dressed like she's going to an Oakland Raider game. She's got black and silver, the black and silver face paint. I don't know, George. I mean, I feel like we'll get there eventually, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Man, I miss Justin. I miss Keith Lee. I hope Keith Lee is doing okay. I really do. I know he's still signed to AEW, but yeah, I would love to see him back. Yeah, I really do wish. I wish Keith Lee was still with WWE and that he was healthy enough to be a weekly performer because he could absolutely truck some guys. It'd been fun to see him in Oba for sure. Okay, Chris, you think Tatum's losing that title? All right. Well, and then Izzy attacks. I will say this, Chris. I don't know that they're going to pull the trigger on 2 heel turns tonight. I could see one of those things happening, but maybe not both. Yeah, Wesley back with the Rascals, man. Jade and Meechin, yeah, we're going to see that on Friday. All right, we should be coming back from break here as Blake is still working the leg, the injured leg of Sol Ruca. Yeah, I think the Tatum story probably still has a little more time on it, Chris, or at least her title reign does. I don't know how long, but she did. I feel like she did just get it. Like, has she had a successful defense yet? Oh yeah, the Spirit Bomb was nasty. I remember that one Survivor Series where they had 3-way brand supremacy, and man, Keith Lee made an impression. His work with Brock in the 2020 Royal Rumble was nasty work too. I wanted to see that feud so bad after that. Let's go Ruca chance. Oh, Lola Vice. That's right. She spun the wheel. I forgot about that. Man, Sol Ruca keeps trying to get some offense started, but eventually Blake just goes right after the leg again. Tale as old as time. The story in this match is Sol Ruca coming back too soon. I know, man. Keith Lee is freak of nature for sure. Obafemi versus AJ Styles. Ooh, that would be a lot of fun. I think AJ would have a lot of fun with that match too. Ooh, big German suplex out of the corner from Sol Ruca. She's going up to the second turnbuckle. Drop kick. All right, Sol kipping up. Oh, wow. Wow. Sol Ruca just kipped up on one leg. That girl has got skills and a running knee on the good knee, but only gets 2. Only gets 2 on Blake Monroe. A one-legged kip up. I can't recall ever seeing that from somebody with 2 legs. What a great sell. Oh, Sol Ruca looked like maybe she was going for the Soul Snatcher, but oh yeah, Modfather. Ivar is a beast too. I'd love to see Ivar have a crack at Obafemi too. Those 2 just go at it. Justin, I don't think Oba needs a manager. I think he's proven he can cut good promos without one. So I'd like to see him without it. All right, on the apron. Wow. Moonsault to the outside, takes out Blake Monroe, and Sol Ruca is back up again. Holy censor chants coming from I heard a chant. I thought it was an announcer. All right. Up on the shoulders. Nope. Oh, man. Chop block. Nasty heel chop block from Blake Monroe. It's only a matter of time. Now she's single leg crab. Lance Storm would be proud. Oh, wow. Sol is staring right at Zarya, who's on the other side of the ropes. And all she can do is see Zarya cheering her on. I think, is Zarya trying to reach? No, she's just trying to encourage her. I couldn't tell if she was trying to reach out her hand to pull her to the ropes, but man, I tell you what. Oh, Blake is removing the knee brace now. Are we gonna end up with like a throw the towel situation? Which is also a shout out to Owen Hart, by the way, when Brett was facing Bob Backlund. Sol just reaching for the ropes. Well, Blake just tossed the knee brace down the aisleway. So now Sol's knee is completely exposed. Oh, roll up from Sol. Only 2. Oh, she went for a super kick with a bad knee and it just gave out. And look out now. Blake. Oh, man. Leg submission from Blake. Zarya's looking for a towel. She's looking for a towel to throw. And the crowd is booing. Oh, we're doing a towel. We're doing a towel throw. Oh, no. Oh, there it is, Modfather. Throw the towel. Is she going to do it? Yeah. Zarya throws in the towel. Which one of y'all said that Sol was going to turn heel? Because we might get that. I don't know if we get it tonight. Sol doesn't look happy. Zarya pleading her case. I had to. But I did question it as the match was going on. And tell you what, Blake looks nasty. She looks mean. But that was like when she was having that conversation with her dark side last week. Her glamour side was saying, oh, yes, we get to be champion. And her dark side was saying, much like Modfather was saying, throw the dang towel, Rocky IV. He was saying, I must break you. Like her dark side was saying, you have to break Sol Ruca. You have to hurt her. And so anyway, Zarya saw it coming and tried to save her. That, George, I'll say I liked that match a lot. That match was heavier on story than it was on moves. Yeah, the towel throwing that I said that earlier that I always think of was when Bob Backlund and Owen manipulated the Hart family to throw in the towel to cost Brett the title. All right, here's Fatal Influence. Oh, that's right. Next week, Laney Reed also gets an Evolve title match against Kendall Gray. Well, I give Jacy credit, man. She's wearing gold already. That's probably the only gold she's going to leave here with. Okay, so we are getting A flashback from the end of last week's show. Obafemi returns to confront Ricky Saints, and he did again in Chicago at an NXT live event. Ricky Saints is here. So Ricky's going to be in the ring next. Guess winner promo. Oh, wait, Modfather, you're making the screen for this one, brother. The ruler Oba versus the ring General Gunther would be a banger. That would feed families. Yes, absolutely. That would be such a hard-hitting match. Both of those men would have to go to Rick James to get the medicine after that match, because they'd have to be like, now that you mention it, I think I'm bleeding inside my chest, because those chops would be just nasty, nasty work. Yeah, so we'll see where it all falls, right? But so far, Gold Rush has been a fun match. We're about halfway. Fun match. Fun night so far. We're halfway there. So we're going to see Ricky Saints come. Wouldn't be surprised if we get Ricky Saints versus Obafemi added to next week. And if not next week, maybe that is added to Deadline. I got to say, and I am being marked by wrestling right now. I am being a fan. I am being a mark. I'm not stepping out of it and analyzing it for what it is. I don't want to see a rematch between Oba and Ricky unless Oba is winning. I just don't. Ricky winning the title from Oba never sat well with me. I don't buy Oba as a world beater, as the kind of guy who could beat Obafemi. Listen, there aren't many men who could beat Oba. But no, I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. So I don't want to see Oba go up against him again, because I think Ricky would probably win a second time, because it's time for Oba to move up. So I kind of hope we don't get that, but I know that's where we're going. All right, another question from our Modfather. You're on fire tonight, my man. Let's put it on. Who do you toe-to-toe with on the mic on the main roster? Who he can go toe-to-toe with? I'll say this. I'll tell you who I'd like to see him square up with. LA Knight. I think LA Knight and Ricky would have a very good promo battle. I would be interested to see Ricky square up with both CM Punk and Cody, just because I'd be interested in what they have to say. I'll tell you who I miss on the mic on the main roster, because he's been out for a while, is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens and Ricky Saints I think would be a lot of fun too. But yeah. And Miz would also be a lot of fun. Yeah, there you go. George said it. Miz and Ricky Saints, I think they would be kind of similar, honestly. Ricky gives me a little bit of Miz energy with like a dash of Rock. But the way he cuts insults and his promos and stuff feels more Miz-like to me. Sorry, y'all. Truth. I could just see Ricky now, like, I don't understand what's happening. All right, we are back. And here comes the NXT champion, the absolute Ricky Saints. Ricky, don't come out here hanging that belt low. Well, he's got to do his little pose with the belt, so that's what he's doing. It's a little hitting his little Zoolander pose. Jay and Ricky would be interesting. You know what? I think about Roman and Ricky, but I think Roman would tear him to shreds just because of Roman's promo style. I think he would just no-sell him, Paul Heyman and Ricky would be interesting. Just want him to hit that line. I'm more smoother and silkier. That's fair, Modfather. That would work. That would work. Cena and Ricky. Yeah, Cena eat people alive if he didn't think they had what it took. I mean, you go back to that one promo he did with Roman before Roman became, the tribal chief. All right, is Oba going to come right out, or is Ricky going? Looks like Ricky's going. Oh nope, Oba's coming right out. And New York responded immediately to the lights and the music. AJ never cut me as much of a promo, but I would like to see the match. AJ and Ricky. I think that would be fun. AJ's not a bad promo. I just never think of him when I think of promo guys. No bread, no water, just meat. Here comes Obafemi. After losing the belt, Oba seems to have more swagger when he walks down the ramp. He's in his street clothes. Locks are down. Just his jeans. Has he got sneakers on? Dude, that silhouette entrance is so gangster. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to see the TNA guys right now. I mean, I think eventually that'll come to reckon. But if I'm a TNA guy, I don't want to jump over Femi while he's in the ring. Yeah, man. Mm. Mm. Ricky sounds confident. I'll give him that. Ricky always sounds like a heel to me, George. Always. Oba, turn to talk now. He said, "I wasn't trying to get involved in you and Trick getting involved in who wins best dressed." Oba said he didn't want nothing to do with NXT and TNA. Mm. That is the coldest line. The sun is setting on the absolute era, and I am the shadow. Whoa, your daddy's home. The crowd is firmly behind Obafemi. And they should be, because they built a superstar in NXT. Okay, deadline rematch. Really want Oba to win that match though. Trick is here. What does this have to do with Trick? You know what though? Timeout. Let's Zach Morris this thing. Hear me out. Triple threat match. Ricky pins Trick to retain. So Oba doesn't lose. He loses, but he don't lose. Oh, Miles Bourne just cracked Trick in the back. Miles Bourne just said, I heard you. I'm only laughing because Miles would laugh too. Okay. So they told us earlier in the show that Cena was who the Iron Survivor competitors were, but Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights have both already said they want to be in the match. I assumed Miles would probably be in it anyways, to be honest. But coming up next, y'all, get your popcorn ready because we get to see Javon and Leon. I think we might see new tag champs tonight because Darkstate, man, Javon and Leon, we got to have Javon and Leon. They struck gold, no pun intended, with Javon and Leon as a pairing. So I think regardless of what your Darkstate plans were, I think they should pivot and put that gold on Javon and Leon. No doubt. No doubt. As a matter of fact, hear me out again. Number one, hear me out tonight. Can we get Trick added to Ricky and Oba so that way Oba doesn't have to take the title back, but he also doesn't have to eat the pin? Number two, put the NXT tag titles on Javon and Leon and then bring them both up to Saturday night's main event and have them in a tag match on Saturday night's main event. You could put them against Judgment Day. You could put them against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Actually, I think that's your match right there. AJ and Dragon Lee versus Javon and Leon on Cena's last Saturday night's main event. Come on. Dust off the Street Profits wherever they've been. Put them in there, or DIY or Motor City Machine Guns. There's so many good tag teams. You could do that. You could absolutely do that. Oh, I know Javon's got to be sore after last night. I know he's got to be sore because he took some chops. And man, he and Gunther, I got to say, he and Gunther were excellent ring partners because their styles are so different. I was really surprised how well they blended together. I was a little nervous. I thought Javon wasn't going to get to Javon with Gunther because Gunther is an old school style wrestler. Sometimes when Javon gets in the ring with somebody like that, it gets a little messy because they don't really know how to work with him. It's not that they don't know, but their chemistry just isn't there. You know what I mean? But I thought Gunther and Javon's chemistry was great because their styles were still very distinct from each other. Gunther tried to keep him grounded, tried to do his mat stuff, tried to do his traditional stuff. And then Javon would just go crazy at points and was doing his thing. It would have been like seeing Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle, man. But in a really good way. And so anyway, I thought it was great. Or AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. Yeah, I mean Javon holding gold in any capacity is long overdue. I think it's long overdue. So I would hope that we get that from him tonight. I'm loving this I'm loving this pairing of Javon and Leon. I think Leon is probably marked for WWE now. Because let's face it, we know what WWE is doing with this partnership with TNA. They're scouting for talent. They're like, yeah, we'll boost you. We'll signal boost you. Well, absolutely. And if we see anybody we want to take when their contract's up, we're gonna take them. Joe Hendry, they're gonna take Joe Hendry. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Moose at some point. I think they'll take Leon Slater. I'm not sure who else, but also it gives them a safe-ish place to put people that they release too. So yeah, I mean, they find people that can fit their system, and that's it. I don't think that's a bad arrangement. Santana, yeah, Santana could totally be one of those dudes. And I think it's great to have TNA be kind of on the level of NXT because it's secure places to work for the company where you can grow and become a star on the way up or on the way down. Oh. Oh, Ava is chastising Miles Bourne. How dare you, Ava, telling Miles she don't listen. Okay, Miles and Trick next week. Uh-oh. Now Tavion and Briggs still fighting backstage. Ava should really hang out with Nick Aldis for a while to learn how to control your show. Man, they are fighting everywhere. Briggs always seems to get into street fights. Choke slam onto the table. Down goes the table. I feel like Tavion and Briggs and Bourne are probably all going to the Iron Survivor match. And if I'm being honest, the way I've seen things shake out, the men's NXT title, we could be looking at Josh Briggs versus Ricky Saints for the title. I'm afraid that's what it is, but we'll see. All right, here's Leon, X Division champ. His theme music ain't bad. She must have got to learn it from Adam Pearce for real. She went to the Adam Pearce. One thing, it's nice that they're different in character, but you ever notice Adam Pearce is very reactive on Raw. He just lets ish happen, and then he reacts to it. But Nick Aldis, granted, he's reactive from time to time, but Nick Aldis, he'll get in your face about stuff. He'll enforce the rules. You know what I mean? George, I'm not saying it's what I want. I think it's just what could happen. But you know what? I think we'll have to wait and see who the field is next week. And I reserve the right to adjust my decision. All right, let's get bouncy, y'all. Rickardy, welcome, friend. You came in at a great time. We have got the NXT tag titles about to hit, which means we got Javon and Leon tagging up against Darkstate. Javon with the KT tape on, first of all, right where he ate some power bombs from what's his name? Gunther. He got that 6'7" jersey. My wife's a middle school teacher, so I mean, like, I hear 6'7" all the time. And I have a middle schooler. It could be the only title change tonight, George. You're right. I don't think they'd have 4 title matches without a title change. I think we'll see a title change next week too. Well, we absolutely will, because we're going to crown a new speed champion at a minimum. So, but yeah, I 100% think one title will change hands, and I'm hoping it's the tag titles tonight. Okay, so I will say this: what if Javon is the Iron Survivor? That would be wild. Oh no, my father, not me. I'm not a teacher. My wife is a teacher. I used to be a pastor, which is kind of like a teacher. Teach on Sundays. But yeah, My wife's a teacher. Oh no, Kendall Gray ain't losing to Laney Reed. No, it's either gonna be Fallon Henley or Zarya. One of them will be a new champion. I don't know what's going to happen here. What if TNA showed up in this match and took down some of the rest of Darkstate? That would actually be kind of fun. But yeah, come on. Javon and Leon, they got to take this one. All right. That's Darkstate, Modfather. The Nexus Retribution group. Oh. All right, so we got Javon and Leon. Oh, Leon Slater in there with Dion Lennox. Almost got a 3 count right there in the beginning. Javon is selling his ribs a little bit from last night, though. Hmm. All right, Javon back up in the corner. Oh, wow. Javon breaks up the pin with a double stomp off the top. That's crazy. Yeah, so next week, John Cena, and what we're assuming is a pre-recorded message, will announce the Iron Survivor competitors for Deadline, which is the first weekend in December. And Javon's out here putting in work. Whoa. Javon just jumped from the apron to the announce table, landed on his feet to avoid a Darkstate attack. You know what's crazy is Javon, Javon weighed $110. He didn't feel it. I know, right? What's crazy is Javon working all the way up on the main roster last night in Madison Square Garden against Gunther, of all people. He looks larger than life in NXT now to me. Like, he just looks like a superstar down here. I mean, he's always looked pretty amazing. But yeah, 100% great drop kick. He can get up, man. Anything that requires a great vertical, that kid can do it, man. There it is. Double springboard off the oh man, planchas for everybody. Rated E for everyone. All right. And Javon and Leon both in control. Loud NXT chants as we go to a break. Yeah, man. So I gotta hope that we get new tag champs tonight. And we still have a women's title match as well. Tatum Paxley defending against Jacy Jayne of Fatal Influence. All right. So, yeah. So, faces are in control while we're in commercial break here. But, yeah. So, let's ask a question. In the John Cena tournament, let's go over right now who's left in the tournament, right? So, right now, let me see if I can give you guys an overall view of who's left. All right, so these are the people left in the John Cena tournament, right? We've got Rusev, Sheamus, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Gunther, Solo Sikoa. We still have Bronson Reed and Carmelo Hayes, and Penta and Finn Balor. So here's here's what our quarterfinals look like right now. We've got Gunther is taking on either Bronson Reed or Carmelo Hayes. We've got Solo, who's taking on either Penta or Finn Balor. We've got Rusev versus Jey Uso, allegedly, and Sheamus versus LA Knight. Of those men left, who do you think is the one who ends up? Who do you think is the most likely? Here's some questions. Most likely, least likely. Who do you want to see the most? Who do you want to see the least? Out of everyone who's left, I'll give you 4 names that I would be really happy being at the end. Either Gunther, Bronson Reed or Mello, or LA Knight. Actually, I said Sheamus early on. If he's still Intercontinental Champion. Yeah. No, I think you're right there, Monfather. Say Javon go into the main roster just to get his feet wet. It's not a bad idea. Just don't want him to get jobbed out taking losses. Yeah, I know. That's the hard thing about Javon is that he's super over with the crowd. But I don't know how many L's he can take on the main roster like he does in NXT and still preserve that. You know? We'll have to see what happens. Jacy says Gunther. Okay. And I'll say this, Jey Uso is the one I probably want to see the least. I agree, Rickardy. I want Sheamus to win the IC title from Cena. And I was hoping that wouldn't be the template for the final match, but it very well could be because there's no more Raws left for Cena. All that's left is Survivor Series and that Saturday night's main event. So he'll either drop the title back to Dom or his retirement match will be an Intercontinental title match, I'm assuming. I tell you what I wouldn't hate though. Is if Cena, because we made a big deal. He made a big deal about leaving with the WWE title, or at least that iteration of the WWE title. If he left with that iteration of the Intercontinental title and they reintroduced like this design, for instance, or something like that, I actually wouldn't hate him retiring with the belt at all. Only if we were going to be getting a new design, a good one too, not just another big W. Just a thought. Just a thought, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we don't know that Gunther will be the final opponent. I mean, because here's the thing, is that the whole thesis statement, if you keep watching those video packages when Cena announced the tournament, he kept throwing back to when he debuted and took on Kurt Angle. Like he was someone who wasn't a champion. He was debuting. And so Gunther's already a world champion, a king of the ring, an Intercontinental champion. Like he's 1 or 2 belts away from being a Grand Slam champion himself. And so while he could use the cachet of being the guy who retired Cena, don't discount Mello being the guy either, because I do think Cena wants to put somebody over too, the way Kurt showed him up too, like, so, and he doesn't even necessarily have to lose. But I mean, listen, think about this. Think about, especially if Cena retains over Dom at Survivor Series, then you have to start thinking whoever wins that tournament also could be the next Intercontinental champion. And I don't think Gunther's that guy. I think Gunther's world champion material now, not Intercontinental champion material. Mello is IC title material. Sheamus is IC title material. I don't think Jey Uso is. LA Knight, I wish they saw LA Knight as world title material, but I think he's more mid-card title material for them based on how they booked him. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, Javon coming off the ropes, big kick, takes down Griffin, and now Lennox is alone with both Bouncy fellas. Oh, you still got the Cena debut match. That's awesome. Kurt reffing the last Cena match would be brilliant. I hope Kurt's in the house, period. It's in Washington, D.C. He's the Olympic gold medalist, the American hero. What's going on? Whoa. Leon runs and dives over the corner post and takes out both Darkstate members. Sending Osiris back in. And big cutter. Big jumping cutter from Javon. Javon's climbing the ropes, and he super kicked a Shaquan for good measure. Frog splash. Nasty high frog splash. Only two. Man, the crowd. They had the crowd on the line for that one. Dude, Leon and Javon are so good. Big ref, you suck chance. I don't want to be Osiris Griffin right now. Oh. Dion Lennox knocks Javon off the top. Leon takes out Sugars, but he eats a shoulder block from Osiris. Oh, no. Don't let this be the finish. Crowd is booing heavily. Oh, no. Oh, no. Javon tried to save Leon and splashed Leon. Now we're going on a doomsday device. Crowd's going to boo this. Darkstate retains. I hated that. I hate that. I hate that so much. Darkstate got no heat, man. As soon as Javon accidentally hit Leon Slater, the crowd was done. They were booing. They knew exactly what was coming, and they lost the crowd by that point, and they hated it. As well they should. Because I was much more hyped to see Javon and Leon as tag champions before trying to. I got to call Sean. Sean usually bats 1,000 around here, man. I don't like this. I don't like them going straight back. Because are they going to sit here and tease us with Javon versus Leon again? Which, listen, they were great, but they don't have to hate each other. The Ren QCC talking backstage. I'll tell you what, I said earlier in the show, I did not expect there to be 4 successful title defenses, and the only one we've got left is Tatum Paxley defending against Jacy Jayne, and I do not like that. Kendall and Ren are talking about the TNA invasion. Listen, Leon and Javon both in the Iron Survivor match is actually brilliant. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I like Ren too, Rickardy. I'm glad to hear you say that. Ren Sinclair does not really get the love she deserves from the greater NXT audience. I think she's adorable in all the right ways. I think she's great. Shamanica, if I didn't say it, I don't think I said hi to you earlier. I'm so sorry, but Shamanica, I'm so glad you're here. Did I hear the rumor about TKO might be taking away all of Vince's PLEs, including WrestleMania? I heard chatter about that. I don't believe it for a second. Because if there's anything that the entertainment industry loves to do, it is to milk IP until it cannot produce any more money. And so you have at least 4 proven commodities in WWE with WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. And those are instant money makers just in brand name alone. Maybe Survivor Series not as much, but definitely Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania. So even if TKO wanted to be stupid and do away with PLE names, I think we're at least keeping the big 4. And honestly, I'm not really attached to any of the other ones. I'm a Money in the Bank, maybe. And I did love King of the Ring, but I don't need it to be a Saudi. But WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, like I don't think those will go anywhere, even if they change all the rest of them. But I really do. One thing I really like about NXT is that they give, well, not every NXT show, but like they give a lot of the old school um, PLE names from like WCW and other ones to NXT, and I love keeping them alive in that way. Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc, and other ones like that. And so, I would hope that they don't mess with it. I think they have a good thing going there. So, but at the end of the day, too, it's probably just a lot of corporate chatter. I wouldn't be too afraid about that happening. I think you're right about that, Shamanica, too. A lot of fear mongering in ticket sales. I think that's probably part of it too. I think you have a strong point there. Um, Ren and Dempsey going after the mixed tag titles. They're doing a weird storyline right now with Ren and Dempsey. It's strange. Um, where Ren's professional affections for Charlie are very unrequited and unreturned. So if they got on the same page, I think they could be a lot of fun as a mixed tag. But yeah, love Ren Sinclair. Would love to see her maybe take the speed title or the because honestly, Ren Sinclair or Kendall Gray, either of them as a speed champion could be fun because they could put on like really quick wrestling exhibitions, like a Kurt Angle Open challenge, like come on in and see if you can last. Um, Pretty dope. Another Cena vignette. What is this? October 2007. Kennedy. I was when he got injured. Tours pack with Kennedy. Man, Kennedy was snake bit, dude. Or Gray and Dempsey. Yeah, they could do well too. Oh, this is the return in the Royal Rumble. And he tore his pec and came back in 4 months. Superman. I still remember that pop in Madison Square Garden. And they hated Cena. They did not like Cena. And that was just proof that, like, he broke the snarkiness of Madison Square Garden that night. Because when that music hit, they were in genuine shock and popped for him for a solid 10 to 30 seconds before they remembered that they didn't like him again. That was awesome. And he went on to WrestleMania 24, which I was at that show. Him, Orton, and Triple H in a triple threat, which Orton retained. But yeah, that was great. Great show. It's wild that he's Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, no title changes tonight. The only one we'll see is if Jayne becomes NXT champion again. And I am not excited about that prospect. Yes, Rickardy, that's exactly what it was like. They're like, oh my gosh, it's John Cena. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. What? So funny. NXT Spotlight brought to you by Progressive. Who's spotlighting? Is that Shiloh Hill? Oh my gosh, are they doing his dark web thing? This is Shiloh Hill as the LFG winner. This is creepy music. Dude. Bro's an evil genius. Y'all, he's just telling you the music with his storytelling here. He's a sociopath. Dude, Shiloh is a full-on sociopath. This could work. This could work. I have no idea if it would ever work on the main roster, but it's absolutely going to work in NXT. In vignettes, he's going to have to, I don't know how that will play in front of a live audience promo-wise, but vignette-wise, it's going to be wild. Because some of that is true. Like, I was following him on Twitter, and he legit ordered stuff off the dark web. Like, he ordered a he ordered a serial killer's boots off the dark web or something, and like chronicled his order process and stuff. He's legit a little offbeat. So anyway, that'll be something else. I was surprised about Dolph Ziggler last night. Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be the guy. It was great to see him again. I thought it was cool to see Zack Ryder again too. Yes, the way the air leaves a man's life. Yeah, he could be something. No, keep him out of the Wyatt Six. That wasn't Wyatt Six weird. That was a different kind of weird. Oh, we're gonna see Sean Legacy next week. I'm surprised Sean Legacy isn't a part of NXT yet either. That he's still in Evolve. Shamanica, the main event is Tatum Paxley defending against Jacy Jayne. The culling, he might could work with the culling if he needed to be in a group. Yeah, that was some Ed Gein stuff, Modfather, 100%. Like, I think that's the closest to like killer stuff they've ever done on a character. Like, they just had, like, you had, I know Bray patterned himself a little bit off of Danny Spivey's Waylon Mercy character, who was like a Cape Fear, like the Cape Fear guy, De Niro, and I can't remember who the original Cape Fear actor. I want to say it was Gregory Peck, but I'm not sure. Nevertheless, he's not supernatural, and he's not goth. He's a jock. He's a nerdy jock who's a sociopath. Like, there's not a character like him in mainstream wrestling. So I'm very, very intrigued here. But all right. Fatal Influence making their entrance. And as we go off to ads. So it is main event time. The Culling and Tatum Paxley will be making their entrance when we come back, I'm assuming. But yeah, guys, it's main event time. Let me know who you've got. Will Tatum successfully defend that title? Or will Jacy Jayne become a two-time NXT Women's Champion? So yeah, right. Yeah. If you didn't hear me, sir, you are crazy. Yeah. I'm telling you that. Yeah, I said it earlier in the night that I thought we'd see a title change tonight. But now that we are at our last match and we haven't had one, I don't want one. So I want Tatum to retain. I don't need to see Jacy be champion again. I was very impressed and I respect the heck out of her. Her title reign definitely earned my respect as a fan, but I would rather see Tatum retain. And Tatum also, for what it's worth, everyone, did tell Jayne that this is her last shot. With Izzy and Lyra's help. Ooh, a Lyra cameo would be fun tonight. We know she was in the building. I'm assuming she's in the building because she was at Raw last night. So we shall see. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still, dwelling over that Shiloh Hill promo. It's something else. It is something else. So we'll see how he can go in the ring. I didn't really watch LFG, so I don't know quite how he went. We already saw Jasper Troy, from LFG. We've seen Tyra Steele. So, the in-ring stuff isn't bad for what they all are. But as far as characters go, that's been the most intriguing character I've seen thus far. So we'll see what we get. We got about a minute and a half until we're back from the break and the match gets underway. We'll see what comes of it. Thank you all, by the way, for joining me. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to Mark by Wrestling, please make sure you do. I have been off my 2K game for a while, but I want to jump back on. I would love to try to find some time this week to do that. Justin, Jasper Troy is our men's speed champion now. He dethroned El Grande Americano last week, and Jasper Troy is now the speed champion for the men's division. So that's what they're doing with him, and which I think isn't a bad idea. So that guarantees that while he's speed champion, he's only going to be in 5-minute matches because of the rules of speed. So actually, I think that's not a bad look for him because the rules dictate that he has short matches. So it can kind of hide the fact that he's still learning how to work longer as a rookie. So I think that's not bad at all. But yeah, I'm going to try to come back to my 2K playing. I have enough wrestlers on my roster now from the Winged Eagle era that I think I want to do a Royal Rumble on a stream one time with Winged Eagle contenders for the title, because now we've got a few more people in the game thanks to DLC packs that we didn't have before. I think it's time to stream a predictions match play of War Games. We should do that as well. And I still want to do a tournament for the Fiend title as well. So those are just some plans I want to implement. So we'll go from there. LJN characters are back too. Love those. If you look over in the corner, you will see the Dusty Rhodes character I was able to procure from a pre-order earlier this summer. Okay, Sol and Zarya backstage. Partners quarreling.
She should have just said a couple weeks, not team.
An Ulafala or a People's Championship, Modfather. I like that. I will do that. Hmm. Yeah, they're not okay. Ruca is not okay. All right, here comes Champ Tatum. An Americals Trios match would be fun. Americanos Trios match. All right. The proud Culling smiling at Tatum. Tatum Paxley looking like Katana or Melina from Mortal Kombat 2. Why did Booker T just yell Kung Pao chicken? All right, here comes the announcements. Shmonica asked, how do you feel about Raw last night? Like Gunther's old theme is back. It was a be good handshake between him and Cena. That song is cinema. Yeah, listen, I can't tell you how excited I was to hear Gunther's old theme. Gunther having his old theme back was a gift from the wrestling heavens. Absolutely love that, Shimonica. I love that piece of music. It is rock notwithstanding, it is final boss. It's like video game final boss music. It's just perfect. So I'm so glad they put that back on Gunther. I think we see American made versus the Americanos. Actually, that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun, Justin. I think we could do that. All right, all right. It's main event time, so our main event brother and sister are in the house. A&B Combos Wrestling Edition. Smash that like button. Let's go. Favorite Mortal Kombat character? That's a great question, Modfather. So listen, I didn't play a ton of Mortal Kombat after, say, Mortal Kombat 3. So I'm an OG when it comes to Mortal Kombat. I'm an UNC, if you will. Nevertheless, the ones I use the most, I like to use Baraka. I like to use Melina, and I got love for Sub-Zero and Liu Kang as well. So, yeah, Gunther's theme, yeah, that Symphony Number 9 or whatever it's called does have a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain environment reminiscent of Jaws for sure. Although it's older than the theme from Jaws, but yes, 100%, Justin. Oh, stiff shot from Jacy. Oh, big slap from Tatum. She just called her Tater. Whoop, missed the slap. All right, Tatum. Oh, drop toe hold. Oh, misses. Okay. Tatum's got her wrestling boots on tonight. She's here to work. Nope, crucifix reversal. These ladies are wrestling. Hurricane Rana from Jayne. Yeah, Justin. Georgia made a statement victory on Texas. They sent those cows home crying, and it was beautiful. It was one of the most enjoyable game watching experiences I've had all season. So Georgia's peaking at the right time. So I wouldn't want to be any other team in college football right now. Fatal influence pulls Jacy out of the ring to rescue her, but then Tatum knocks her off the apron, knocks out. Oh, moonsault, takes out all three members of Fatal Influence. All right. Tatum didn't come to play. She says, I'm here. I'm the champ. Look in my eyes. I am the captain. She got that. Yeah, yeah. There is conjecture online that John Cena will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, and I'm not super into that. I don't. Uh, John Cena is absolutely a first ballot Hall of Famer. He deserves to go in whenever. But I would rather him be gone for a while, and then come in later. Give it a few years, because like this Triple H and then Stephanie and like I don't know. I just I don't. I feel like if Cena retires in December and gets put in the Hall of Fame in April, fans are going to assume he's going to have a match at WrestleMania. He's going to wrestle one more time. And I would rather Cena wait long enough to be put in the Hall of Fame to where there's less expectation that he's going to wrestle again. Madden for 20 years. I feel you, Modfather. You know what, Modfather? I'm that way about college football. If they hadn't taken that huge 20-year break, I would have been doing that every year as well. I've already gotten 25 and 26. I love playing the college football game. I bought that every year back in the early 2000s. So I started buying it in like 03. I think went 03, 04, 05, 06. And so yeah, I went for as long as I could. Great series. So I'm with you on that. Nevertheless, while we're in break, I will let you know that Jacy Jayne's in control right now. Yeah, well, Sophie, if this is a big if John is in this class, you've got John, and then you've got Stephanie McMahon, who will be the woman, I guess, who gets inducted. I'm assuming maybe Demolition this year instead. I'm trying to think of who else could go in. Man, that goes all the way back, Modfather. My favorite, I didn't play a ton of different Madden games, Modfather, but the one I played the most was 05, the one with Ray Lewis on it. That was a lot of fun. My question, so what I think, Sophie, when we're talking about, yeah, they usually do have someone who has passed away as well. I'm trying to think of who they might put in. I don't know if this would be Brazier or not to do that. And then I do believe that, they have Hall of Fame matches now too. I wouldn't be surprised if they do Hogan and Andre as the Hall of Fame match. Shawn was about 2 years, I think, after he retired, though. It wasn't the year that he retired. Like Flair was inducted the year he retired. Retired with air quotes. Well, Steamboat had been retired. He just had like a comeback match. He was in that match versus Jericho the same year he was inducted, but he hadn't wrestled since 1994 when that happened. So he wasn't active, Do I think Brock or Drew might turn on Heyman at War Games? I don't think we're going to get any drama with the Vision. Savage and Steamboat absolutely will be one of the Hall of Fame matches one year. I would love it as soon as it gets there too. Like if it's this year, I'm here for it. That would be great because they could actually bring Steamboat in for that. But Steamboat did just show up for AEW. I don't know if he just made an appearance or if he has some kind of deal with them, though. That's the only thing. And Tatum's still in control here, throwing elbows here, throwing forearms, big kick, German suplex, Tatum on fire. Justin, I don't see a lot of drama in the Vision. The only thing I could see that I think would be a whole lot of fun is if there is any dissension in the vision during War Games, that it's between Brock Lesnar and Braun Breaker. And because those two dudes are just crazy. I would really enjoy that. Little miniature Harlem hangover there. A Harlem buzz, if you will. I got there before Vic Joseph did. Yep, both world champions are in War Games this year. That's a rarity. Tatum continuing to take Jacy to Suplex City. No, I don't think Brock turns face. I think if there was any kind of breakdown between Brock and Braun Breaker, I think the crowd would go with Braun. Which Uso gets pinned. Wow, Sophie. I would say Jimmy without breaking a sweat, but honestly, there's storytelling to be told if Jay is the one who's pinned, especially with Roman in the match. Man, big step up in Zaguri, all the way up to the top. Tatum climbing up. She's got a fisherman suplex. Oh, off the second rope. And she rolls through. Wow. I don't know what that move was, but it was sick. A fisherman suplex kind of into a spine buster. Alabama's 0-4 regular season against Oklahoma. You love to see it. You love to see it, Justin. Oh, Izzy just threw a chair into the ring for Tatum to use. And Tatum threw it back. She says, I don't need that. Oh, no. Roll up from Jacy. Only two. Wow, jumping sort of code breaker into a super kick. Whoa, Tatum just dropped Laney Reed, who tried to interfere. Now Jacy Jayne's got her measured. Big kick to the face. Ooh. But Jacy was screaming and holding her foot. Jacy's limping. Is she just selling? Spinning elbow. Whoa. Tatum kicks out. The crowd was ready to have the air let out of the building on that. And Tatum has kicked out. Tatum still has the breath in her lungs. She's still alive. And she just took Jacy's best shot. Laney's taking the belt. She's going to try to slide the belt. Oh, and Izzy just Lash Legend dropped Laney Reed. And now she slides the belt into Tatum. And Tatum's like, no, I don't want to cheat. So now Jacy's got it. So she's going to hit. Oh, and Jacy gets caught by the ref. Tatum's refusal to cheat has saved her. Uh-oh, roll up. 1, 2, nope. And Tatum goes outside the ring. Wait a minute. Oh, there's the turn. There's the turn. Izzy refused to cheat twice. And the whole culling is turned on her. And there's this. No. Jacy Jayne is the 2-time champion. Well, I was right. There was one title change tonight. The entire culling turned on Tatum Paxley. Tatum got thrown out of the ring, and Sean Spears and Nico Vance stopped her from getting back in the ring. And then she got blindsided by Izzy. And she threw Tatum back in the ring. And Jacy sick shot from, well, Rickardy, you tried to tell us, and we didn't want to listen. I didn't want to listen. Well, we're absolutely getting Tatum versus Izzy at some point. I wonder if they will end up in the Iron Survivor match or if it's just going to be a one-on-one. Oh, poor Tatum, man. Poor Tatum. Heartbreaking. There you go, Chris. You called it, man. Just absolutely heartbreaking stuff, you guys. But hey, we're only halfway there. We have another week. We now have another week of Gold Rush to go. So that's just she got absolutely rocked. Tatum did. Poor Tatum, man. Poor Tatum. So next week at Gold Rush, we've got the Women's Speed Championship Tournament Final, which is going to be Zarya versus Fallon Henley of Fatal Influence. So Fatal Influence could have 2 titles. Actually, they could have 3 because Kendall Gray, the Evolve Women's Champion, is going to be defending against Lainey Reed. And then we have Jackson Drake, the Men's Evolve Champion, defending against Sean Legacy. Kalani Jordan, TNA Knockouts Champion, will be defending in a triple threat against Jordan Grace and Li Ying Lee. And we also have a non-title match now, Trick Williams versus Miles Bourne, one-on-one as well. So we have we've got a real possibility that Fatal Influence could have 3 belts this time next week, everybody. So brace yourselves. Make sure your affairs are in order. And, take a deep breath, and here comes the water because next week could be wild. We'll see what happens. Shamanika has a question. It's not a popular question, but who do you think will start off War Games? I love that question, Shamanika. I think for the baby faces, it's assuming that we have the roster the way it is. Okay. So Jimmy and Jey Uso, Cody, Punk, and Roman versus Brock, Drew, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul. I think based on all the War Games that I've watched, if it were me, I would say I'd pick Cody to be the first guy in for the good guy team, probably against Drew McIntyre. I think I would have Drew be the first guy in regardless for the heels. And I think, though, they'll probably have Jimmy Uso be the first one in. I think it'll be Jimmy. And then Jay will be the second one in from the good guys, is probably what they'll do. But Cody is Dusty's boy, and Dusty used to love to be the first guy in so he could bleed by the time that match was ending. And I know they will not touch what Blood and Guts did with blood because that's just not WWE style. But I am 100%, not 100%, 95% convinced Cody is going to bleed in that match. He's going to want to bleed in that match. I think Punk is probably going to want to bleed in that match. I think both of those guys are old school enough that they're going to want blood in that cage. Again, probably not to the degree that we got for Blood and Guts. I mean, you would have to start doing transfusions if that were the case. But yeah. Do I think NXT will attack TNA people this week? On TNA, probably. I think that story. I'd be interested to see if that story bleeds into NXT television because it seems like they're doing that because they just did Showdown, like last month or 2 months ago. Was it 2 months ago now already? No, last month. They just did Showdown. So I almost feel like based on the quality of NXT star that is doing the attacking, that they might keep it on Impact. With it being Charlie Dempsey and Brooks Jensen and Lexis King. I think it may stick to Impact, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, the show was all right tonight. Big angle change tonight, with the title change. And we got to see Oba come back and talk. Trick tried to insert himself into grown folk business, which he always tells other people not to do. And he ate a chair from Miles Bourne. So anyway, we're going to have a great time for Gold Rush Part 2 next week. which may or may not be pre-recorded. We'll see what happens. So, but nevertheless, we will be here for it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you guys for being with me. Keep your eyes peeled for the channel because I may try to get live with 2K this week, and I might actually be doing SmackDown on Friday. So keep your eyes open as we march towards Gold Rush, march toward Deadline, and of course, march toward the end for John Cena, this Saturday night's main event. You guys take care of yourselves. Do not forget to be a mark because being a mark just means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. You guys take care of yourselves and have a wonderful, wonderful